Welcome to Airborne with Matt Jeffs on staugustine.com. Again, we have a very special guest with us today. I want to welcome to staugustine.com and the Airborne viewers, Jim Stafford with Eclipse Recording Company. How are you, Jim?
Doing great, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we've done this on the radio so many times. It's so good to have you come in and share with our viewers what you do at Eclipse Recording Company. Would you tell us, let's get a little history lesson. Tell us about your career and Eclipse Recording Company. How did it come to be?
Well, first, I guess 1973, I got my first recorder. It was a 4-track Tascam. And it was very, very cool. We thought that we were big time. Well, jump ahead a few years, and back in the 80s, I got some ADATs, which was an 8-channel digital tape recorder. Mm-hmm. And that was a hobby. And I took a long departure. College had a corporation building and developing in Virginia, and the hobby continued, but all of a sudden it got to the point of where, I just really want to do something I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to come to a place where I really enjoyed. And St. Augustine has drawn me for a long time. So in 1999, we made the decision. We moved here in 2000, and I opened Eclipse Recording Company.
Anything significant behind the name? How did you come up with Eclipse?
I've always had this kind of sun and moon thing. My building corporation was Sunrise Homes, and it's just always been that way. But I'm also a morning person,
right?
And I used to take my Labrador out to the beach for sunrise 2 or 3 mornings out of the week. And I guess it's just the sun and moon thing, and the eclipse just, just kind of stuck.
Well, I've had the pleasure of touring the facility, and I never imagined that St. Augustine would have a recording facility of this caliber. You have some very impressive equipment, and I know that you've had some impressive people through that through Eclipse Recording Company for some time, haven't you?
We've been very fortunate. We've had a chance to work with lots of good folks, and some of them aren't necessarily huge names, but extraordinary talents, and some were fairly good names. But as far as the gear is concerned, we have a state-of-the-art place, and we have just purchased a new console, which I'm very excited about. The Trident series consoles were designed by Malcolm Toft.
Who's that?
He is the one who recorded Hey Jude for the Beatles. You remember that song?
No kidding.
No, seriously, we've had a good time with it, and we do an awful lot of different things over there, and a lot more than just recording, but we do record music, we record television, we record radio. Mm-hmm. I do an awful lot of stuff with audio forensics.
Forensics. Tell us a little bit about that, audio forensics.
Well, there's many times that there will be problems with audio, and it could be that there's noise in the background, or maybe there's a voice that needs to be heard, but there's a tremendous amount of ambience. There could be any number of things. Sometimes it's damaged, and sometimes it's something that's extremely important.
Right.
We've worked on a number of homicides, and some of our work has been on Dateline in 2020.
Wow.
And has been brought back into the jury room during deliberations. So it makes you feel good when you help out, get these guys.
Now, you've done a lot of projects for the community over the year, and some that popped to mind for me, back when I had the radio program on Flagler College Radio, we featured often your recordings of the Gamble Rogers Folk Festival, and you had some lovely performances that you compiled. You'd spend all weekend there recording and then putting that together. What was that experience like?
Well, something, those folks that work with the Gamble Festival are some really extraordinary people, because year after year after year, they give so much of themselves, and of course it's all done gratis, and a tremendous amount of work. You look at the Dan Downs and the Bob Pattersons and Paul Linzer, and oh, by the way, Paul Linzer is running for the Mosquito Board.
That's right.
I had to get that little plug in for you, Paul. But there are a wonderful group of people, Liz and Lon Williamson, the list just goes on.
Oh, yeah.
And, we had some real good times recording. And a few years back, we released a double record that was recorded there.
Right.
And we've actually recorded a couple others years that have yet to be mixed. We'll see what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. But working with people like the Bills and
Fantastic.
just outstanding folks.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Mark Atkinson Trio.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
all that. So.
Great stuff. Long instrumentals, beautiful music.
And I'm also quite proud to say that both my wife Inga and I have been asked and have accepted. We're serving on the Board of Trustees for the Gamble Fest now.
Tremendous. That's great to hear. Now, you have some current projects going on, and I remember one we released on Flagler College Radio recently, something for the University of Florida.
Ah, this is true.
The
Yes,
Urban
indeed.
Legend.
Yes, there are some really talented folks, Rob Peck and J.R. Roberts, that wrote a song called Urban Legend because they had performed for Urban and Shelley Myers. And, it's really good. We even got this big chomp, chomp, chomp thing going, and it's getting a lot of attention. There are some radio stations that are using it as a signature, and we also were working through some of the folks there at the university. And I expect that it's something you're going to hear more and more of, and it's not just a football tune, although it's football season now.
Right.
I think the basketball folks are going to be adopting it as well.
And Jim, what are some of the other projects Eclipse is working on right now? I know you're always busy and have a long list. Tell us about some of them.
One that's very near and dear to my heart is our annual Christmas project.
Yes.
And this is our 7th annual this year. And over the course of the last 7 years, there's been several hundred musicians that have contributed their time.
Right.
Probably about 75 different acts, and several of them have been on year after year after year. And we always fill up the 80-minute CD. Sometimes it's like 79 minutes and 50 seconds. We try to get everybody that can possibly participate because we really like an eclectic mix, and it is that because that's what our community is.
Precisely.
And all of these people give of themselves and their talents free of charge, and all 100% of our proceeds goes to the St. Augustine Record Empty Stocking Fund. And probably be about Thanksgiving that we'll have it out, and it'll be available in all the usual places, plus others. I know that Casey will have it over at Music Matters, and Simple Gestures would have it. They'll have it here at the paper, and of course we'll have it at our studio. But there are going to be other outlets too, so stay tuned and we'll let you know.
Most definitely. I hope you can come back to staugustine.com on a regular basis. Tell us about some of these projects that are coming up. Tell us how the Christmas CD went and what the next year will be like. I hope this can be something we can work on in the future.
I think it sounds great, and I appreciate it very much, Matt.
My pleasure. You've been Airborne with Matt Jeffs on staugustine.com. We've had Jim Stafford, the chief conspirator.
That's me.
Of Eclipse Recording Company right here. Take care, everybody.
Right now, merry little Christmas now. Right now. Merry Christmas.